No one will be seated during the opening 38 seconds of Sydney Sweeney's driving. Also, reading while driving. Parking in the middle of the driveway instead of on either side so someone would have a better chance of getting in or out more easily. Also, based on the parking for the rest of this movie, this giant house doesn't appear to have a single f***ing garage. Movie doesn't rich asshole correctly.
Is it too early for meat and cheese?
Proving that there are, in fact, dumb questions.
I think you might be overqualified for this job with all this experience and a college degree.
Millie has lied about her experience, and we will find out that Nina is well aware of this, and it's part of her plan. What I can't figure out, though, is how Millie, in 2025, thinks it's remotely possible that one could even get away with lying on a resume when everything is so easy to fact-check. Knowing what we know, by the end of the movie, it's ridiculous to think Andrew would pay for a commissioned work of art depicting his wife with dark roots. For a house that demands perfection, there sure are a lot of folds in the carpet.
I should just draw my chalk outline on the bottom to get it over with.
Foreshadowing. Only having room for a small number of candy options and choosing Whoppers as one of them.
You would definitely have to listen to his TED Talk about how Barry Lyndon is a misunderstood masterpiece.
Film buffs who don't understand what the word misunderstood actually means. Barry Lyndon is about as understood of a masterpiece as they come, spreading fecal matter all over your armpit.
That window doesn't open, sadly. But there's a lot of ventilation in this room, so you should never get stuffy in here.
Not pictured anywhere, ventilation.
Where what? My PTA notes for the meeting tonight?
I'm going to guess not in the refrigerator. Also, Millie doesn't leave this house and get as far away as possible after this incident. Groundskeeper stares mysteriously through the window of a f***ed-up mystery house cliche.
Juice is a privilege, not something you drink out of a dirty glass.
Kids. Also drinking orange juice with chicken piccata.
This looks amazing, doesn't it, Cece? Way better than dinosaur nuggets.
That's Dinosaur Nuggetist. Is that kebab slid down all the way to touch his finger? Grilling is a privilege, people.
No. Absolutely not.
Amanda Seyfried's reaction after being first offered this movie somehow made its way into the script. Also, the movie would have become more interesting if that dream were real. So you f*** yourself by not f***ing moving.
I want you to feel safe here.
People who don't comprehend that the quickest way to not make someone feel safe is saying shit like this.
Fear door, as requested.
Really? A skeleton key for a deadbolt? And Millie isn't seeing another red flag waving in her imagination?
That's a lot of bacon, Millie.
People who believe there is such a thing as too much bacon.
Okay, where is it? Nina?
Instead of calling Nina back to find out where Cece's ballet class is, Millie will do a Google search and conveniently find the correct ballet school in time, which is convenient as f***.
I told you Cece was having a sleepover tonight. There was no need to make a scene.
Not seen in this scene, a scene.
Can't wait to eat off of those plates.
Being this excited about plates.
This isn't working.
What?
The story relies so much on Nina's ability to expertly manipulate Millie into staying when it could have easily turned into Millie standing up for herself and murder spreeing the wrong person here. Nina's confidence to guide the manipulation missile and nailing it is wild.
It wasn't the hormones making her crazy. She actually is crazy.
Putting all of your opinions about your boss in print when you have a boss who would appear to have zero issue going through your
Learn anything fun or interesting?
It's school. It's not fun or interesting.
Cece would be excellent at school since.
You need to stay out of the attic.
So do you.
Millie chooses to not have Cece explain this cryptic reply.
Premature ovarian insufficiency.
Millie should really talk to HR about the oversharing happening in her work environment.
I just always wanted a lot of kids. My whole soccer team full.
So Andrew wants at minimum 22 f***ing kids. That's getting him at minimum 22 cents.
Wrap this around your hand.
Alive and well.
Needing the job or not, Millie does not leave the house and find another job, literally anywhere else after this.
Nina Winchester tried to drown her kid in a bathtub.
Saying all that with amusement, spelling theater the British way.
I was coming to confess something to you.
His confession is that the tickets weren't refundable, which isn't a confession at all, it's just a fact. And the use of the word confession is something to be careful with, because at this point I'm so bored that going to a church to hang out with a priest sounds 100% better than what I'm watching.
How about you and I go?
Millie desperately needs to keep the job. Nina told her to stay the f*** away from her husband, and yet she will go on this not a date with Andrew for reasons.
Great dress.
That is a skirt and a top, sir.
I just don't understand why you're cleaning people's houses. You should be out there living your best life.
People who assume that everyone has the privilege or ability to just be out there living their best life.
All I want to do is make her happy, and I genuinely don't know how.
Going to start with not locking her in the attic because she didn't get her roots colored, or at the very least not taking the nanny/housekeeper out for a romantic evening on the town. Drinking out of your hands like a wild animal instead of using the glass right there. For a phone that was only plugged in moments ago, you sure do suddenly have a completely full battery.
Take off my dress.
Me caring more about calling this outfit what it actually is more than the movie does. Not a dress. This is a dress. This is not a dress. Dress, not a dress.
This is going to sound really cheesy, but I didn't think anybody could look so beautiful in the morning.
Skip!
Nina!
Doing this instead of just checking to see if her car is there. And considering Casa de Andrew doesn't have a f***ing garage, this shouldn't be too hard. You may spend the rest of this scene wondering how Millie managed to whip up this incredible lunch on such short notice, but this pie with a bit missing here and smoother section here appears to be the same pie from earlier. I guess it was tucked in the back of the oven the whole time.
Welcome home. Thank you.
Kumbaya facades. Kumbasades? Movie puts the name brand popular products on the bottom when we all know that the bottom shelf is for the cereal we can actually afford. Feeling the need to capitalize the B in peanut butter when all other two-word entries haven't had the same special treatment.
And that's when I realized that Nina knew everything.
And yet she still decides to go back to the house, probably for her creepy troll doll.
I know you took her to the city. I know you used the hotel room.
Then she should also know he got a second hotel room for Millie, not that it was used.
No!
Nah. 1 minute and 19 seconds of sexual montaging and family feuding. Jesus, that toenail is so long. Snuggling is a privilege, and long toenails make snuggling dangerous. This mug survived this.
I got a plate guy.
Being so rich, you have a plate guy.
I'm here, seriously.
Yeah, it'll be acrobatic.
Thinking acrobatics will make sex in a tiny bed any more pleasurable.
Dear Cece, if you're reading this, I'm either dead or you just turned 18.
This Nina's position exposits for 18 minutes and 35 goddamn seconds. Also, I find the best movie twists are presented via 30 straight minutes of blunt force expositional flashback narration over an hour into the movie. You?
I hate to break it to you, sweetheart, but your roots are making a break for it.
Andrew survives this.
I need you to pluck 100 hairs from your scalp with the roots intact.
Being this concerned with the roots of your wife's hair, but not being concerned about her losing 100 hairs.
Nina, I need to see those follicles.
Follicle fetishes. Movie makes us actually watch Nina pulling her hair out. Andrew somehow bullshit his way into filling the tub up enough to not actually drown the kid, run outside to fake his own arrival, and drug Nina perfectly enough that she wakes to reach for her child precisely as police arrive to misunderstand it as a drowning attempt.
There's nothing in that attic except boxes and papers, Nina.
And why would that mean that he didn't trap her in that room?
And then it dawned on me. Andrew did have a weakness. His need to be adored.
There's writing a confession letter, and then there's this. If Nina were caught and part of her plea deal included going into the detail of Andrew's murder to lessen her sentence, I'd believe this part of the movie. But she's writing this to her kid. That's f***ed up.
Look, I know a guy who could help.
I think that would only make things worse for me.
Assuming Enzo is talking about having Andrew killed, and the fact that they do end up killing Andrew and getting away with it, Nina really could have just gotten this over with early, and we wouldn't have to watch this movie. Win-win!
I could help you.
You need to stay out of this, Enzo.
Then why did she start telling him all this shit in the first place?
Disowned by her parents, fired from her last job, broke, no friends, living in her car.
Was all that information listed on a site somewhere? Did Millie start up a social profile and divulge all of this? How did Nina figure out Millie's parents left, she has no friends, and is living in her car? Also, Nina's confidence in this website is misplaced, as it has Millie's current address employer as a place that has fired her. Also, this page says she has no children, but on the second, she has a dependent.
My plan was to hire a pretty girl to replace me.
But Nina says that
There was no chance in hell he would ever let me lead the marriage alive.
So how do things change by baiting him with another woman? Let's pretend that because it's his idea to shift to someone new that he lets Nina go. Does Nina really think he'll let Cece go? No! Her idea is and the fact that any of the villain's plan works is ludicrous. And yes, she is the villain in the movie filled with villains.
I made him promise not to interfere.
Damn, Nina, your confession letter to your daughter really incriminates your buddy for no good reason, yeah?
It was her, or it was Cece and me.
Nina has forgotten she is writing this to Cece and should have just said her or us.
Part of me hopes you'll never read this.
Oh no, don't say that. If Cece never reads this letter, then however would we have this massive expositional dump raining its dank, disgusting plot twist that Nina is an altogether different sort of psycho all over us. But also, the movie will never tie up the loose end of what happened to this letter. Was it actually finished and handed off to someone to deliver to her daughter to read if she died or turned 18? Is this movie actually Cece reading the letter as an 18-year-old woman realizing her mom murdered Andrew and Auntie Millie and Uncle Enzo knew about it all along? Would this awaken a dormant rage bottled up since her childhood, causing her to become an even worse version of Andrew? Where is that movie?
I just needed you to know I wasn't a bad person.
I'm confident that confessing to setting up your abusive husband with a new woman, knowing she'll be abused and possibly kill him, makes you a bad person.
You're gonna take this piece right here in my hand and you're gonna carve 21 lines into your stomach.
So, just to get this straight, Andrew flips out when hair isn't perfectly dyed, but is totally cool with 21 deep cuts into abdomens? Started to think Andrew isn't right in the head.
The boy I went to prison for was a lot like Andrew.
Oh, okay. We're kicking off the next section with more backstory exposition, because why not hard shift through all the genres and add on autobiography autobiography vibes to the Hallmark romance meets domestic noir mashup. See, the troll doll was inside the glass ball that she used to crack a man's melon. I guess we're to believe that somehow it was allowed to be retained in her possession despite being part of evidence.
Millie, what did you do?
Saved her roommate's f***ing ass from being raped by an asshole, that's what. I'm so glad this movie gives Millie the happy ending she deserves, and she doesn't spend her whole life being underappreciated for her murder skills.
I guess I don't handle creeps very well.
I'm all for creeps not creeping, but this level of assault would probably end your parole and put you back into prison for the last 5 years of your sentence, right? Andrew cleaned out Millie's room himself and somehow missed the knife in the closet? I doubt that very much. Movie believes we need to see Millie make all these cuts in her stomach, and movie is wrong. I only see 19 cuts instead of 21, so this movie is ruined.
You'll have everything you've ever wanted. An education.
Is he gonna send Millie to college?
I need a f***ing sandwich.
You need to tend to the 21 gaping wounds in your stomach, but you do you, Millie. Also, priorities are a little off, yeah? She's fearing returning to jail, I suppose. But, like, maybe call the police? Is jail better than this? I think jail is a better place than this.
Open the door now!
The door survives this.
Let me the out!
And this.
You see, would I love to drink juice out of these?
Juice might be a privilege, but drinking juice out of teacups is just wrong.
What the? A gravy bowl? I f***ing love gravy. I had no idea they made these.
Then how did you know it was a gravy bowl?
So Nina didn't tell you why I was in prison.
Which in 2025 would have been a super easy thing for Andrew to look up on his own, but he didn't because plot. No. You know, for a guy that hasn't had food or water for a bit, he sure does have a lot of energy. That carpet stain is never mentioned again. I guess we're assuming the groundskeeper is also a super great rug doctor?
You can't find this?
He's right. Finding this exact situation would be difficult. So the sin is that he's right.
It would be my pleasure.
Chick-fil-A.
What are you doing?
Putting fingerprints on evidence. What do you think?
He fell trying to change a light bulb.
Yep, and that light bulb sliced into the side of his neck somehow, and the coroner was like, yeah, this deep cut here is consistent with a light bulb attack. They are notorious for making deep, thick slices and stuff.
No one's gonna believe that he fell changing a light bulb, Nina.
I'm just having a hard time believing that Millie is able to have a somewhat civil conversation with the person that tricked her into getting trapped in a house with a f***ing monster like Andrew. Also, the authorities do in fact believe that Andrew died while trying to change a light bulb, and I can't figure out how seriously I'm supposed to take this movie. Andrew's tooth was clearly snapped off. There's no root, so all that blood in his mouth was bullshit. Also, to be clear, the tooth fairy does not come in situations like this.
Enzo, it's done. I'm gonna need your help cleaning up.
I suppose in this universe, call-longs aren't a thing to be concerned about while committing crimes. Also, supposedly this is the same night, meaning Enzo has arrived at the house and miraculously removed vital evidence before the police arrive. For not having everything planned to a T, they sure are accidentally themselves through a perfect murder.
I actually knew your husband a little bit. He was engaged to my sister, Kathleen.
Nina is lucky enough to get the one cop who would have just as much a reason to see Andrew dead.
Seems to me this is just one of those freak household accidents.
And in this world, these sorts of cover-ups are possible because only one person investigates wealthy people's deaths.
Because teeth are a privilege.
I mean, this line is a bit lost without the context of Andrew's abuse at his mother's hands. Without his mother spelling out that she removed his teeth as punishment when he was little, the cynical nature of abuse and the irony that he had to pull his own tooth out is lost on this film. Even more frustrating, I wouldn't have known that the movie veered from the book if not for the asshole talking in the theater behind me. So the sin, as always, is talking in the f***ing theater.
I told you to run.
I suppose everyone carries around checks in their funeral pockets for people who were not supposed to be there.
Make a life for yourself.
Thinking that kidnapping someone, enacting mental warfare on them, feeding them to an abusive husband, and then murdering with them is only worth $100,000. Also, I'm now super curious how Millie explains her sudden inheritance of $100,000 to her parole officer without raising any red flags.
I have to warn you, my husband is a hard man to please.
Movie sets up a possible future where Millie is hired as a housemaid for women with monster husbands who need to be killed, and while that sounds like a lot of fun, she would get caught pretty quickly, considering she would have been a new hire right before every goddamn murder.
Spanker had gravy on his vest, gravy on his tie, gravy on his pants, gravy all over him.
I'm just gonna say I think you might be overqualified for this job.
Interesting that the only two jobs you consider me qualified for are secretary and hooker.
You're not wearing your glasses.
And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses.
Want to get on this? Some Dawson? Want to get some Dawson on you?
Richard Dawson, just go back to your podium until it's time to play the feud, all right?
I don't really eat meat.
I respect that you don't eat meat. Please respect that I don't eat fake meat.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
You like scary movies?
Surprise, motherfucker!
Pleasure's all mine.
I'll be right back.